Everyone keeps asking, what's changing next year? So today we're focusing on the updates that actually matter to you.
From improved credit card perks to new lounge access rules and upcoming loyalty program shifts, there's a lot happening over the next few months.
We'll tell you what's worth keeping, what to use before it disappears, and what to expect in 2026 so you're not caught off guard.
If you want to stay ahead of the changes instead of reacting to them, this is the episode for you.
Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to the Upgraded Points Podcast.
And I'm Katie, and today we are talking about what is changing in 2026. So we're going to go over some of the big headlines of what you need to know in the points and miles world that is going to be different next year. So let's dive right in. Chris, what is the first thing we should be paying attention to?
If you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve card in your wallet, this is great news for you. The Edit credit, which previously was two $250 credits biannually, can now be used much closer together. It's still $500 total per year, but you don't have to wait 6 months to use them now. So starting January 1st, you'll get $250 to use, and then you can use that second credit on January 2nd. And so you can get those credits out of the way. If you wanted to use them for the same property, technically it is possible. You would be able to book two separate reservations, but it's very clear you cannot double dip on property benefits. You can still split it into two reservations, book two $250 credits from the Edit. That's great, or you can book them for whenever you want. But no, those on property benefits will not be able to be double dipped, which is still pretty good news though.
Yeah, that was a tiny little adjustment they made that actually makes a huge difference, and I think really increases the value of that credit. So well done, Chase Sapphire. The next thing we need to talk about is also about the Chase Sapphire. They have a new hotel credit in 2026. And from what I understand, it's at this point only in 2026. I don't think it's been announced as an ongoing benefit. Maybe correct me if I'm
Okay.
wrong there, Chris.
I don't know.
But they're adding a new $250 annual hotel credit. And this is separate from that credit that Chris just talked about. And this is again for bookings of 2-night minimum through Chase Travel at select partners. And these include IHG hotels, Montage hotels, Pendry hotels, Omni hotels, Virgin hotels, Minor hotels, and Pan Pacific hotels and resorts. So that is separate
Okay.
from the Chase the Edit credit. It is an additional $250 credit that you can use on 2-night stays at those brands. So that's also another very under the radar credit. I think
Yeah.
it was like buried in an announcement that just kind of went out, and really that's a valuable benefit to look out for in 2026.
Yeah, that's a solid list of hotels there. I mean,
Yeah,
just
definitely.
IHG. I mean, you can travel around the entire world, and that's, you see it's a 250 credit for a 2-night minimum.
Mhm.
And IHG, that's totally possible to get a free stay somewhere.
Yeah, or you could go super high end and try out like an Omni, or go super cool,
Yeah.
go to one of those Virgin hotels. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's some great options there.
Yeah. The next change that is not as good news is for Capital One Venture X card holders. Starting February 1st, there is a guest policy change. Now, authorized users currently get a lounge access, which is awesome. It makes this card one of our favorite cards. But on February 1st, authorized users are losing the access privilege. So you can still maintain that benefit if you spend $75,000 per year, calendar year on your Venture X card. Your authorized users will be able to get lounge access. You can still add an authorized user to your account for free, but they won't get the lounge access benefit. If you wanted your authorized user to get lounge access privileges and you're not going to be spending $75,000 per year on your Venture X card, you can actually pay $125 per year, and that's on the Capital One Venture X or the Venture X business card. And then your authorized users would continue to get access. So you'll have to run the numbers there, see if that makes sense for you. But just be aware on February 1st, those changes are coming.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Okay, next one is Southwest. The long-awaited assigned seating and new boarding process will begin on January 27th, 2026. And if you're flying on that day, good luck. I can't imagine that it's gonna go smoothly. I If you're flying that day on Southwest, I am dying to know. Like, please send us an email and tell us how it
Yeah.
goes. So, starting that day, Southwest is getting rid of their free for all seating with groups A, B, and C that no one seems to understand, even though it's been that way forever, but that's okay. They are moving to just a standard 8 group boarding process. So, it's going to be very similar to basically any other carrier you've flown. There are going to be 3 categories of seats, and these are live now if you're booking a flight after January 27th. You're already seeing these. It's standard seats, preferred seats, or extra legroom. Standard and preferred are the exact same seat. There's no difference. Standard is in the back, preferred is much closer to the front. Then the extra legroom are right in the front and the exit rows, and those are gonna offer up to 5 extra inches of legroom, so that's gonna be more your, like, main cabin extra or comfort seats. So that all starts on the 27th. I wrote a whole post explaining all of this, explaining the boarding groups, how you get a better boarding group, how you get one of those nicer seats. So we'll link to that in the show notes if you are flying Southwest soon, and good luck.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's move on to JetBlue and Mosaic changes coming. First, JetBlue is bringing first class to some aircrafts. These are going to
Ooh.
be aircrafts that don't have JetBlue Mint installed on them. So just think domestic first class, nicer seats. So it'll be interesting. They say those are coming out in 2026. We will see. I haven't seen any photos of them. Have you?
Neither have I, so maybe
Okay.
the
So
end of 2026?
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Moving on to elite status. So, first of all, members now get an extra month of status. Previously, or currently, until status is valid until the end of every calendar year, December 31st. So this year, 2025, but it's actually being extended by 1 month. So now you'll have until January 31st of 2026, and moving forward every year, you'll get that extra month. So that's nice. Moving on, Mosaic 4 members are now going to earn 5 bonus TrueBlue points per dollar. That brings it to a total of 11 points per dollar on eligible travel booked directly with JetBlue. In addition, Mosaic 4 members will receive an additional 2 Move to Mint certificates for a total of 4 for the year. So that's great news if you can use those certificates to upgrade your to business class. Mosaic 3 members are going to be earning 4 bonus TrueBlue points per dollar spent for a total of 10 on eligible travel. These new earning rates mark a nice bump, as all Mosaic previously earned 3 per dollar spent. So this is a nice little increase for those top tier Mosaic members. The rate is going to stay unchanged for Mosaic 1 and 2. So if you're in 3 and 4, you get a little boost there. That's nice. Another family-friendly perk that JetBlue unveiled recently was the family tiles. So starting February 1st, members can combine their tiles with their children 12 and under. So that means that you can earn status quickly. If you're paying for your family, you can take their tiles and put them into your account. So that's nice.
Love that.
Heading over to signature perks starting on February 1st, check bags. Mosaic 2, 3, and 4 will continue to receive 2 free check bags, which is great. Mosaic 1 members will get 1 free bag instead of the 2, which is a little bit of a devaluation compared to the 2025 benefits. For even more seats, JetBlue will be restricting complimentary extra legroom seat upgrades for Mosaic members. That's going to be for up to 2 for Mosaic 1 and 2 members, and then for up to 4 for the Mosaic 3 and 4 members. So members at Mosaic 2 and above will still be able to get those free seats for free at booking and at check-in. For the Mosaic 1 members, that's just at check-in. And finally, sorry, this is a long list for JetBlue. There's a change to complimentary alcoholic beverages. So all Mosaic members will now receive just 1 complimentary drink when flying core fares, and that's a change. Previously, it was 3 free drinks. So, a lot of
That's a
JetBlue
lot.
stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's move on to Hyatt credit cards. So we got, I don't know, maybe a month ago, a very long-winded press release that didn't tell us much. But what we do know is that the Hyatt and Chase credit card portfolio will be expanded in 2026. They did not say what that's going to include. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out for. And then they also mentioned and I'm going to quote this. World of Hyatt Explorer status will be added as a benefit for top spending Chase Sapphire Reserve and Sapphire Reserve for Business card members beginning in the middle of 2026. Now, does that mean that there's going to be a spending threshold for Sapphire Reserve members to get Explorer status? Or do they just think that anyone with with the Reserve card is a top spender and that's just going to be added as a standard benefit? We don't know. It was very unclear, but that will be coming. Not super exciting because Explorer status
Right. Yeah.
isn't fantastic. So that's kind of a.
Okay.
But I do think keep an eye out for some Hyatt credit card changes in 2026. I'm really excited to see what they're going to come out with. Most likely, it's going to be some sort of a premium card because they already have that $95 Hyatt credit card, and then they have the business as well. So I'm expecting a higher annual fee card, but we will see. Keep an eye out for it.
We will see. Imagine if there's a path to globalist through credit card. Well, I guess there already is if you spend enough, but something like the Hilton Aspire, maybe.
Oh, that would be nice.
Interesting. Okay. Well, before we take a break, let's take a look at American Airlines. They've announced that starting in January 2026, they're going to be rolling out free Wi-Fi across their fleet. They're saying there's going to be over 2 million flights.
Finally.
90% of their flights are going to have free Wi-Fi. So this is starting in January. Like you said, Katie, finally.
Finally. Oh my gosh. If you have ever tried to get Wi-Fi on an American flight, you know how ridiculous the prices are.
It's so expensive.
Like $24 for an hour flight. Like, come on. And I'm the idiot that's paid that sometimes because sometimes I have to work on my flight.
Yeah, me too.
So kudos, American Airlines. It is way late, but I'm glad it's coming. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then we have some more to talk about what is coming up in 2026 and maybe some of our predictions and our wish list.
Okay, welcome back. We've gone over what we can expect for 2026, but Katie and I want to play a little game, a little prediction and wish list, maybe what we want to come in 2026 or beyond, or maybe some extra predictions. Katie, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, so my number one wish is that American Airlines will start awarding loyalty points on award bookings. This drives me crazy that I can't earn loyalty points when I'm redeeming miles. Miles have value. They are a currency. I get that it's not dollars, but I still feel like I'm on your airplane. I'm engaging in your program. Throw me some loyalty points. And, I use the American program quite a bit. That's who I have status with. And it's really frustrating that I can't work on my status when I'm redeeming miles where I can on like Delta. And I have low-level status on Delta partially because I redeem a lot of small flights on there with miles. So that is my big wish. So American.
Okay, that's a good argument there. I like that. I'll give you a +1. I'll be happy to join in with that wish.
As far as a prediction goes, we mentioned it just briefly earlier when we were talking about Hyatt. My prediction for this new Hyatt credit card, I think it's going to go one of two very different ways. My first prediction is we're going to get like a stupid high annual fee credit card that's going to come with Globalist or a super easy path to Globalist, and it's going to blow everyone's mind. But then they're also going to be like, oh, but actually now there's another level that's beyond Globalist. And, Hilton just added Diamond Reserve recently. So I don't know. I think that card is going to be either like wildly exciting, or they're going to just introduce like a $395 card with like an extra elite night over the regular card, and it's going to be super boring. And I realize that's just so I don't know, obviously, but it's going to be either like crazy exciting or really, really boring. I don't know. I just there haven't been any changes with that Hyatt credit card program in so long. It has been so stagnant that I think it's going to be crazy. So we'll see. I don't know. I can't wait for it to happen. I have two other just quick little sort of predictions, and I guess this one's actually not really a prediction, but I think it's going to continue because I've already seen this trend start. I feel like hotel elite status is actually becoming way less important than maybe it was a year or two ago. We're seeing all of these credit card changes. We've seen it with all three of the big ones that changed this year, leaning into incentivizing booking through their own portals. So, like American Express gave us that great credit for fine hotels and resorts and hotel collection on the Amex Platinum card. The Sapphire Reserve has that edit credit, which we talked about earlier. I see that like leaning into that so much, and those booking through those programs comes with elite like benefits. So you book through those, you don't need elite status. I just feel like we're going to continue to see that trend in 2026. And then my last prediction, and I kind of hope I'm wrong, but the other three programs, the major programs, made huge changes and introductions to their premium cards, Chase, Citi, and American Express. And we have not seen anything from the Capital One Venture X. It has remained
Quiet.
wildly the same, a few minor tweaks. And it's a card that we love because of its simplicity, because it hasn't gone into that coupon book model. It's still a really reasonable annual fee at $395, I think, off the top of my head. I just feel like maybe there's something coming this year, whether it's a change to that card or the introduction of a Capital One version of a super high annual fee card. I don't know what it would be, but I don't know. I feel like there's no way that it's going to stay the same. What about you, Chris? What are you wishing for? Have you figured out a wish yet?
I'm still working on my wishes. My
Okay.
wish list is so long that I don't want to.
Yeah.
Can't just waste one. Can I wish for more wishes?
Yes. That's how it
let me
works.
let me focus on my predictions then. I have a prediction that there are more Hilton changes coming, and unfortunately, I think they're going to be negative. We've seen the introduction of the new, the Diamond Reserve, and we saw the reduction in gold requirements to get gold status.
Mhm.
Yet the benefits have remained the same. I don't think I don't know the numbers behind it, but I don't think that's sustainable. To be offering, you're essentially offering more free breakfast to more people. So I think that Hilton Gold has always been that sweet spot. We've talked about that a few times. I I think there's has to be a change coming soon. Maybe it's just a reduction in those breakfast credits. Maybe they remove breakfast altogether. I think that would be kind of harsh for them to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of devaluation, especially around gold status, with with these new levels
Mhm.
coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Next
I would
one,
agree.
yeah, and we'll see. I hope I'm wrong,
Yeah,
but
me
I
too.
mean, especially since Amex Platinum has the gold status, so I wonder there must be some ramifications there. We'll see. The next is going to be focused around lounges, and I have a prediction that lounge crowding is actually going to get a little bit better. And this is kind of a multi-factor. So I think we've seen just a general slowdown in travel post-pandemic. There's no more of that revenge travel. Everyone's just trying to get on a plane and get out. People are being a little bit more intentional about their travel. That combined with new lounges essentially opening all the time to meet this current
Mhm.
demand, which I think is kind of softening a little bit, will help alleviate that travel. Plus, you have this huge group of people that opened up these premium credit cards during that revenge travel period that maybe are not using or maybe can't justify all of those credits and decide to downgrade. And now all of a sudden they have a card that doesn't have lounge access. And that means less people in line, less people in the lounges. So that's all, speculative. I don't have any inside information there about how people are traveling, but that's pretty much what I've seen.
Yeah,
And then
I think you're right on with that one. I
think so.
absolutely think that that's probably the way it's gonna go. I hope that's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would be really nice, and it would be even better if the Platinum and the Capital One reversed their guest changes, which I'm sure is not gonna happen,
Yeah,
but we can
that'd be
hope.
a shock. But I mean,
Hope
imagine
not today.
if all of a sudden these lounges that have been millions and dollars have been invested into are sitting empty. Well, maybe you start inviting guests in again. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
So I guess that was kind of a prediction, maybe a little bit of a wish there as well, wishful thinking. So kind of along that wishful thinking, maybe easier, more award availability. Maybe we don't have to be waiting until last minute to book some of our favorite redemptions or 364 days in advance. So maybe the airline's just a little more generous with their award availability. That's my
Wouldn't
wish.
that be nice? Yeah, keep wishing, Chris. I don't
All right.
I don't see that one
I wish for
happening, but
more wishes then.
okay. Well, Chris is going to wish for more wishes. While he is doing that, we do have a reader question this week. So I'm going to move on to that while Chris thinks about his more wishes. So we got an email from Craig, and Craig asks, with the upcoming Capital One authorized user lounge changes, is it worth paying the $125 a year to get then those lounge benefits back?
That's a great question, and I'm sure we're going to get that a lot. I think it definitely could be worth it if the two things are met. I think if your authorized user plans on visiting a Capital One lounge more than once per year, because even without a Capital One card, you can just walk into that lounge and pay $90 to get in. That's a lot of money, but if you're going to be on a long layover and you can make it worth it, go for it.
It's
Number two,
$90 to get into a Capital One lounge?
it is.
If you don't have
Yeah.
a card? Oh,
If you don't have a card, yeah. General population can just walk in for 90.
that's
So
a lot.
what was it, 50 if you have a card, some cards?
45, yeah, something like that. Wow, now 90.
Yeah. So you would need to get your money's worth there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be sitting at a restaurant at terminal for 4 hours on a long layover, you could easily spend
Could
that.
absolutely be worth it.
Yeah.
100%.
The second factor in there is if your authorized user can't or doesn't want to open up their own VentureX card, because that is going to be the easiest way. You can get a nice little welcome offer. I mean, the VentureX pays for itself. We love the card. So if those two can be satisfied, then I would say, yeah, it'd be worth paying the $125. But I would first, maybe consider opening a card just for that authorized user. If that's not an option, run the numbers. But yeah, it could definitely make sense.
Yeah, especially like if at Capital One Lounge is at your home airport, that could absolutely be worth it.
Absolutely.
Totally. Well, okay. You know what, Chris? That I think does it for us for 2025. This is our last episode of the year. I just want to take 2 seconds to thank you for watching and listening on our first year of the Upgraded Points podcast. We appreciate you. Thank you for all of your comments that you've sent to us, questions that you've sent through email, comments on Spotify, YouTube, all of that. We appreciate it so much. If you have ideas for what you'd love to see on the show in 2026, by all means, please email us, podcast@upgradedpoints.com. And I hope you have a happy new year, and we will see you next year.
Bye. Happy New Year.